Welcome to another lazy tutorial with Jesse Easley. Still learning to speak, but hey, each one of these little episodes is a learning experience for me as well, and hopefully for you. As you could see, we have a very strange, different illustration here than the usual lazy tutorials, which have kind of consisted of landscapes. Actually, that's not true. They've been all over the place. Here's a little character design. It's maybe he's a satyr, maybe he's a skeleton, maybe he's a devil. I'm going to show you how he was made right here because it was kind of experimental. I had this palette left over from actually painting at Lake Merritt. And when I looked at it, I saw this little skeleton Cthulhu face in there, and I thought, oh, this would be cool to like make something out of this. But right away, I was like, okay, it's getting too crazy on the palette, so what if I slapped it down like this and made an imprint out of it? You know, and doing things like this is really fun because it's completely experimental. It forces you to sort of think out of the box, and it has that spontaneous quality that sometimes generates something that you never would have thought before. Right away, though, of course, I was like, okay, I gotta get my little skeleton face back because I like that. This little Stegosaurus skeleton Cthulhu thing. And I really didn't know what I was doing. I was like, am I gonna make him a space skeleton? Um, and then I realized there was all this cadmium yellow and cadmium orange and that yellow ochre still on there. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just make this like he's like a little like skeleton stepping out of a portal of hell, I guess you could say. Um, and again, I think I've said this before. I get drawn to the faces. I need to get a little face time in there for me to really fall in love with the character. So I went right there, giving some full value range. And then I started trying to figure out like what is this thing doing? What's its body? What's its anatomy? I started to think that I could see a little bit of a high stepping, um, kind of gait. And then I was like, okay, yeah, this is a skeleton. This is a little devil creature. Let's make him a satyr. Let's give him little hairy legs. Let's give him a little goatee. Make him hairy. There's nothing like hair coming out of a bone to just draw up the impossible. Yeah, and here you can see me using my own hand to draw the little, rock on 666 the devil signal there. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you could look up images. I think you can see here I'm trying to look at my hand to make this guy hold a big cigar joint thing. Because, if he's rocking on the devil, he's a smoker. He's a toker. He's a midnight joker. To go over the colors for this, since I always forget, it was the same as Lake Merritt. So it started off with that cypress green and the sepia and the cadmium orange, cadmium yellow, and yellow ochre. I picked up some new colors the other day. It was olive green, an ocean blue, and a spectrum yellow. I think I added those to these as well. Yeah, it's you can see putting in the big old cherry in that joint, making his legs a little extra hairy. I think I wanted it to look like part of his body was still in the flames of the portal. And then this is a very, very Hellboy sort of thing to do, to put a floating flame above his head like a crown. And yeah, put in a little bit more warm highlights, and there you have it. It's a weird little skeleton devil satyr. But yeah, doing things like this is fun. I think I also wanted to include this wide shot of my workstation just to show how utterly cluttered and messy it is. I keep seeing these like Instagram posts of people, and they have like the cleanest. They have like succulents on their work table, and I don't think most of us work like that. Most of us work pretty sloppy, so you shouldn't feel bad about your workstation being sloppy. Just clean it off every now and then, and if it's hindering you from actually working or making any art, well, then you have a problem. My phone is tripping. Guess that's all for the lazy tutorial with Jesse Easley. Hope you learned something. And it might be that you know more than me. Have a good day. Bye.